shall we revisit our example? So this is example 6.1.1. And I think what we had in this case, we had this, what is famous in our class, but may not be famous in other classes. A non-singular linear systems problem that came from a fabricated physics experiment to generate coefficients for Newton's second law modeling, right? 9.00, let's see, 10.89, I suppose. And then I suppose it's going to be 12.96. Let's see if my brain is on today. And we call this over here x1, x2, x3. And then we did this one over here, 3.000, and then we had 2.559, and then we had 1.236, right? Okay. And do you remember what we did? Oh, this would be a much better test of my memory. This is going to be hard. Have fun. 3.0, 3.3, 3.6. Sugar. 8, 9, 12.96. And then these were our desired coefficients, right? All right. Do you remember the first thing that we did here? We choose pivot 1, and then we annihilate what? Everything below. And we did that step by step in this class, right? So we went 2, 1, 3, 1. Once we had 2, 1, 3, 1, let's actually do that in steps. All right, and then we did something like this, right? So if we went back to our notes, we didn't touch rows 1, we didn't touch rows 3, we touched row 2. And do you remember how we eliminated this one? Do you remember what the C value was? -1 times this divided by that one. So it just happens in this case that's -1. But whatever the value is here, if you take a negative of that value and divide by the pivot, you'll get the exact C that you need, right? After we finish this one, we multiplied by the next element. So this one was going to be called S21 of -1. That's going to be called A. This was going to be called S31 of -1. Let's see, 1, 0, 0. We're not going to touch the second row once we've done that calculation. Do you remember what that value was? -1, because this row was untouched, and that's the element that we wanted to target, right? Okay, so that was going to be -1, 0, 1. Okay. And then that actually we didn't finish our work there, right? I don't even know if this would be amazing if I could do this. I think I can do it with some test corrections. It's like good things in life, right? You try once. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, isn't all of life test corrections? You know, like, I mean, if you do it well, anyways, right? It's true. Like, all of life is just a series of mistakes, and then you're like, oh yeah, I should do that differently. It's only in school where they're like, no, got to do it right the first time. So here we go, 9.00, and then we got 0. No! You gave it away too easy. All right, don't let me get away with this one, right? That would be 1.89, and then this would be like 3.96, right? Don't ask me about the other side. Don't do it. All right. And then thank you, though. I appreciate it. I'm not angry. I'm just sad that you beat me to the punch, right? All right. So then what did we do So I'm going to call this actually pivot 1. Because pivot 1 is doing all this work, right? And then could you guess what I like to call this one? Pivot 2. And then sadly, our modeling matrix was so non-interesting that it didn't need a third pivot, right? Kind of a sad thing. All right, what did we do in this one to get rid of that? Where's the pivot 2? What pivot 2 are we going to work with? this one. All right, so here we got 1, 0, 0. And then what did we do? We're starting to warm up. I'm feeling people just got engaged. You see them? We should time the response time to see. Yeah, nice. Good to see you all back. I missed this class. I missed all my classes, but this one the most. I didn't say that to the other ones either, because I haven't seen them yet. All right, so do you remember what we put there? Yeah, how did you get that? Subdiagonal element that you're trying to zero out divided by the main diagonal with a negative. All right, so this was S 3, 2 of negative 2. What is this matrix right here? Yeah, nice. Is it A? Definitely not, right? This matrix is the matrix that results from the original calculation, which was S 3, 1 of negative 1, S 2, 1 of negative 1 times A, or the calculation resulting from the last pivot, right?